Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Lorenzo Evans with It Takes a Village podcast. Hope everyone's having a good time today and been enjoying themselves. We're going to have a fabulous time today. We have a special guest, Annetta Swift, and we're going to be talking about not only the production that she have coming up, but we're also going to be speaking on the topic or the situation or the subjects behind the play, because there's so many times we have situations and things happening that we as pastors or as leaders overlook or whatever. So today we're definitely going to be excited as we dive into the information and the production and such. So we're really going to have a good time. Again, this is It Takes a Village podcast. How you doing, Ariana?
Blessed and highly favored. God is good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to see the village. Hello, everyone. And, I am new to behind the scenes of anything with media. So I'm excited to learn. I have my notepad ready.
Yes. Because, when we speak on subjects and stuff, a lot of times we hear or we see things and we just kind of wonder about it, or we want more information. So to be able to dive into this particular topic, I think is going to be eye opener. So I'm very, very, very excited to get into this. And again, we're not only talking about a play or production, but we're talking about real life. Because sometimes we see strong men of God, and when we see them fall, we're shocked. And it's like, what happened? Why? But when we really begin to realize and analyze their life, there's so many things that we don't know. And to have a play or a whole production around the pastor's study, I just think it's exciting. So I'm really, really excited about it. And our guest today, we're getting ready to bring her on. It's Annetta Swift. And I'm super excited because of the knowledge and wisdom she brings. And also because, I'm only a playwright because she saw it in me and she allowed me to go forth. So a lot of stuff that I'm doing now, I'm started out because she gave me the courage and said, hey, you can do this, low. And I was like, okay, let me do it. Let me see what happens. So let me bring on our guest here. And how you doing, Annetta Swift?
Hola, how you say English? Hello.
Yes.
I'm trying to share it live, Lorenzo. I don't know how to share it. I don't see it on your page.
I'm not sure, because I know it's a way you can share it out. Let me see. Hold on. Because normally if you go to like the live on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, it gives you the option to share it.
Right. And it's a village? Because I don't see that either.
It Takes a Village podcast.
But
if you go to Facebook and put in It Takes a Village, it should, let me see.
Pop it up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who is Meta? I'm just playing. Somebody named Meta keep popping up. But
anyway,
thanks for having me on. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I do not like that new Meta thing. It just it's a headache. It's a headache. But,
yeah.
We have to accept what they give us, I guess, if you want to look at it like that.
Yeah. Hey, Ariana. I see you.
Hey, blessings. Excited to have you today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Always glad to talk about what I got going on.
And especially when you got something that's worth talking about, something that's good and needed in today's society.
You know what's beautiful is Netta always got something going on, and it's always needed, and it's always good. So she hits all the checks.
Always right on time. Look at God.
Look at him.
Well, now let's do this now. For those who don't know, Annetta is not just a playwright. She's a prophetess. She's a author. I don't mean just somebody. Let me say this. You hear a lot of people say I'm an author, and you ask them about their books, and they wrote one book, 10 pages, and now they're an author. That is somebody who wrote.
Right.
I've
seen that.
She has it's over 25 books, I believe.
No,
right?
It's 25. We're gonna stop right there, Lorenzo. Stop playing. 25.
Okay. And I've read a lot of her books. Her books are incredible. Because it's good. Like I told her, I always tell her I love the pastor study, but my favorite is Diamond in the Rough because I'll say one day that is going to be a movie. If you
Yes.
know, so, but the Pastor Study, which is a book you wrote, and I read the book, and it's an excellent book, and you have a production coming up. Um, I want people to understand. Oh, like I said, you're author, you're playwright, and you've worked on movie scripts, and I mean, I don't know that we can even articulate all of the accolades that she's due because she's well known and she's very good at what she does. There are some people that they carry the title, but their work don't back up the title. If that makes sense.
Her, she creates art with a message, and the message goes beyond the stage. It even goes out to the community, not just mentally and spiritually, but also she is an activist in schools. And so when we say the accolades are abundant, yes.
And she got a Bully Me Not foundation that's very, very well needed and stuff. So, like I said, we could go on talking about all the good stuff she does, but we want to focus on the pastor study because, again, we see pastors, and when they fall or when they do things that we say is not of a pastor's walk, we look at it and say what happened because we don't know what goes on. And when I say the pastor study, normally you think of the pastor study as a place they go to learn of the word, to get the information and be ready. But a lot go on behind that we don't see. And this way is going to give people the ability to have insight to see that, oh, okay, so some pastors are real. They're people just like everybody else.
Yeah.
So let's start with this. And tell us what made you want to first write the book that you turned into a play.
It's a funny story. Something had happened at our church back when the founder of the church was the pastor, and one of the board members was like, "See, you need to write a book." And I was like, "A book what?" He's like, "What goes on in the pastor study?" He's being funny. A tell-all book about what just happened. I said I would never do that. So I went home, I went to bed, and I woke up with that feeling in my, I guess my soul. And God said, "You will write the book, but it won't be about that." And He called it the pastor study. So to this day, I call that board member, who's not there anymore, but I call them my baby daddy. When he told me that night, it was like it conceived in my heart. And God was like, there's a message, but not the message of exposure like that. More so that pastors are human. We always look at pastors as superhuman. They have this big, standard that they got to hold. We all right. We can do what we want to. But pastors, you the pastor, you shouldn't have, or whatever. So it almost vindicates the pastor, but we still deal with them issues. You don't get away with it. You know what I mean?
That is a really delicate topic to bring out to the media, out into the world, and still keep the respect of the pastor study. How did you make sure to keep that balance as you created this project?
I did not. With everything that I've written, I'm not being funny. With everything that I've written, it's like it comes to my mind and I type. I'm not even an avid reader. I read more now, but at that time, I wasn't trying to read nobody's books or nothing. So it was like I'm God's secretary. As He gives, I unload, if you will. And so I'm typing and I'm wondering, oh, what's gonna happen with this story? And he'll tell me, and it's like I'm like, oh my God, because in my head, I would do this or I would do that. The character should do this, and he'll say, no, delete that. This is what we're doing. And I can't take. It sounds so cheesy, but I can't take credit for it because it's the thoughts and downloads that came to me. And I think some of the things that I had experienced myself in church. My father was a pastor, and things that I've experienced growing up in church, things that we all have experienced, some stuff I had never experienced. But clearly it needed to be told. Clearly it hit somebody. And during the rehearsals, and not just rehearsals, I've had people who read the book be like, oh my God, this is me. Male and female. So it's relatable. it's considered taboo in certain areas because we don't talk about certain things. But
Mm-hmm.
I think I wrote the book in 2008, and that's how I'm sure that it was a prophetic tool, and that God is like it's today's news. Is now is the time, and that I would have never done a lot of things. So, Ariana, I can't take no credit. I don't know.
But you know,
Love it.
but even with that, the like our pastor always say, the best ability is your availability.
Right.
So you was available to be obedient, because some people get projects and they try to change it and fix it up to what they want it to be, and
Mm-hmm.
then when it don't go as they thought, they wonder why. It's because you didn't do what God told you to do. You did it your
Mm-hmm.
way. And like you say, a lot of things happen in the boardroom when it has to study that the world is not privy to.
Yeah.
And when they see things, they're shocked. And also, like you said, it's taboo. So they're almost told, hey, what you almost like to say, what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happened
Period.
in the past to study stays in the past to study. And I think the transparency sometimes help people to understand. Oh, okay, so you didn't just say, hey, I'm gonna do this. Certain things happen, and you ended up in it just like anyone else. So it's good because pastors, they carry a lot of weight,
They do.
and people even don't understand. They see the husband and wife in the pulpit and everything seeing good, and back home they may hate each other.
They may not even talk to each other.
Right. So I'm sure, because like I said with the book, the things that go on, you just don't expect it, because we want to see the pastor and the wife as the perfect picture of the Christian marriage.
And I think that's the biggest mistake. Um, because like we all have. So there's no way that you can be married a certain length of time and not experience some storms. And sometimes
Mhm.
people are not transparent enough to share. And I will like to say that most people have not experienced everything in this book. Because one of the characters in the book is like, well, I ain't never did that. That ain't me. I I don't need this. I don't whatever. And it's like, okay, you may not, and hundreds of thousands of people may not, but there are some people that are going through some
Mhm.
stuff, and we need to talk about it. Okay, fine. Your marriage is not perfect. Let's go. Let's talk and get help. I
Mhm.
think for so long, the church, our community, not saying that not other races go through this, but there's a lot of stuff that we just hide, and it's just time out for hiding. It's like, what we hiding for? You can't help
Mhm.
nobody if you have it. If you be transparent, and it's a way to do things. It's a way to discuss
Right.
things, where it can be the proper setting. You don't want to get in your pulpit and
Mhm.
certain things, say certain things. I think that'll be a poor taste because some people don't forgive, and some people don't forget. Some people will never see you as human, as a
Mhm.
pastor, and I think it goes further than just the pastorate. I think it goes to leaders in your home, leaders on your job, because you still are under scrutiny.
Right.
I mean, it's talking to pastors, but it's talking to a lot leaders. Period. They're like, who you
Mhm.
go to? You know what I mean? So yeah, when you got a platform, like you, people looking at you. Once your name get great, it's a wrap. Everybody looking at, they're waiting for you to mess up.
Mhm.
Right.
So it's like, why hide it? Let's get some help before it comes out, because everything doesn't have to be exposed. But when it's
Mhm.
held a secret, all secrets will be revealed, and that's the word.
Mhm. And I tell people all the time, God always give you warning shots before he hit you.
Talk about it.
It's like, okay, finally, I guess if you're not going to take care of this problem, I've got to get it dealt with. So I have to expose you. So
Woo!
if we learn to submit to him so that we don't have to deal with that, because, and people have to understand, what God has the ability to expose you, then to heal you. When man expose you, they don't heal you.
Yeah, they want to destroy you
Hmm.
and your reputation. Yes.
And
They say
so,
you cannot heal what you don't reveal.
Period.
right, and you can't. And um, I think Blossom used to always say that when she Rogers, the one she used to be on our show, and she used to say that because she said she's been through a lot, and she speaks about until she would acknowledge it, she couldn't get nothing done.
And she got to experience her 20th year being free on Tuesday. Yeah, 20 years. 20 years.
God is good. Let's celebrate that.
Yes, definitely. So it's good stuff. So I'm really excited about the play because, like I say, I read the book and the things that they went through, these couples, it was almost like a movie in their life. Things was happening that you would say, "Oh, that don't happen to me." But when it comes to your door, because it's easy what you see others go through. Like the one, like you said, some people told you, "Oh, I've never seen that," or "I've never experienced that," so they don't understand.
I'm them. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
You're the biggest problem.
So when you see a pastor and things come out, people just really, I guess it amazes me how you never hear them celebrate the good things, but something bad happened, and it's just such a scandal. And I'm like, well, it's really not a scandal. It just was scandalously done because they didn't come out with it, and at the end of the day, in the pastor study, it's just like anybody else's study. It's just that they got that pastor title, and we expect them to be better or hold them at a higher standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a few questions for you.
What's up?
Because these topics, they are very timely. So one, I want to just make a comment about. I love that you reminded the village that this message, even though it is the pastor's study, in my mind, I'm saying pastoral mess, pastoral care, the behind the scenes, but it's for all leaders, right? And just a reminder to the village that right now as leaders, it's just as a community, as a world, as a race, human race, mental health is essential that we are taking care of. So it's important that we're bringing these things to the forefront, out of the closet, so we can actually talk and work through it. And we talk about, I recently went through this spiritual and mental wellness training. And one of the biggest things is that your leader should have someone coaching and guiding them and helping them. So this really reminds the village and the community about how real every one of us are. We are just human. And we all need that mental health, that reminder, that balance, that marriage check, that support, that team. So kudos to you on that. And the second piece, okay, so this is my question. We talked about marriage and some of the stuff that happens behind the scenes, and it reminded me of recently I heard another pastor mention about some leaders in the church, and church members don't even really love each other when they get home, right? They're just next to each other in the pew at during service for faith. And it was Dietrich Haddon, and they were asking him about a recent, birthday party, I think it was, that he had, and him and his wife were showing their love on the dance floor.
Give it to
and he's like, we express it out in the open heart love because it's passion, and this is what God blessed us with, versus those that are so quiet and stiff and barely talking to each other. So I'm curious on your thoughts about that, and if any of that is kind of spoken to in the book and play.
The book and the play are synonymous. Same lines. We took some stuff out, added some stuff in. Had to take a lot of stuff out because you can't put the book in there. As far as like the type of situation with Dietrich and them, I don't address that. What my feelings are about things of that nature, I feel like every couple is individual. You will not see me and Rodney doing that in public. My husband's very private. So you might see me. I'm just playing. But you ain't gonna see me and Rodney doing none of that because my husband's private. So I respect his boundaries. Where another couple, like, we don't kiss and stuff in public, but other couples do. We see couples kiss. It don't make me uncomfortable. That's them. I think every couple, and this sounds stupid, is individual. You know what I'm saying? You can't just look at this couple and say, oh, they wrong for this. Now, if they was doing something totally sexual, this is a birthday party. They wasn't at church. Now, if he was with Juanita Bynum and they was doing that dance, I don't care what another married couple does. If it floats your boat, do it. If it's not, you know what I'm saying, X-rated or inappropriate is the word. I don't care. I mean, I don't have thoughts on that. I just be like, all right, are you good? And so I try not to embarrass him because I am off the chain. You know what I mean? But he's very quiet, laid back until he got to say something. But yeah, I have no comments on it. It's not in the book. I don't even think about it. What we do talk about, as it relates to couples, is that we all need help sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you or Lorenzo, I don't know who said it, was talking about actually having the mental health part. So that's not tackled in my book. We didn't talk because in 2008 it wasn't no mental health stuff that we talked about. Since 2008, I myself, 2018, started therapy, and it's made a major difference in my life. I'm still taking therapy. I did this shadow work stuff, and people say, "Oh, that's not the devil, girl." Bye. It's talking to your shadows. You know what I mean? Because if I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I can't help you, and instead affect you, I will infect you. And
Mm-hmm.
so, the
Yeah.
pastor or the leader of this group allows the pastors to know that we have counseling for you. We'll pay for it. Go get help. Go
Mm.
talk to somebody. Because I'm not saying God can't do everything, but sometimes God uses other circumstances to bring the healing that you need. And I think the church, the world is kind of grasping it, and the church is kind of grasping
Mm-hmm.
it too. But I think we need to open it up a little more. Go get some help.
Mm-hmm.
People at the
Did
altar,
y'all hear that?
you know what I'm saying? Go talk to somebody else. Take a pill, then go pray. I mean, you'll pray and take a pill. However you want to do it. I don't think it's taking anything from God. Luke in the Bible was a physician. So if it wasn't meaningful, it doesn't take the place of God. It's helping the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that may be God's avenue of healing.
But and people have to understand that, cause like in the book, I'm in the book, and I'm sure in the play, what it's saying is maybe if they would have spoken to someone, maybe if
That's
they
the
would have
whole
so
point. The
scared.
whole point.
Mm-hmm. Because we're scared of what people are gonna think.
Mm.
Absolutely. And certain things, like I said, there's a place and a time. But my book is written just like even with the bullying thing. It's supposed to be preventive maintenance. So let's
Mm-hmm.
keep this from happening. Where in so many cases people don't come forth, especially with the bullying thing, until after the child has committed suicide, or so after it's gotten drastic. Now you want to call bully me not. We are for the proactive. Let's do something before anything happens. When you see signs, let's check this out. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times we do want to hide. Like one of the characters, she was like, I'm tired of being the nice first lady. I'm hurting. You did this to me. And it's real. We human. Some
Mm-hmm.
people have been abused, so they don't know how to do anything else but be abusive.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talk about it, y'all. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I feel apprehensive though, because and see, until people tell me, I don't really think about it. Because they say the book good, they say, okay, it's gonna be a good play. But when people tell me you about to touch stuff and touch places that people don't want to be touched. You
Come,
about to open up stuff that people don't want
yeah.
to see. You
Mm-hmm.
about to deal with things that people don't want to deal with. And that's not too popular. And somebody asked me, what gave you the guts to do it? I didn't think I was doing anything wrong or doing anything that's gonna make somebody, you may feel a little uncomfortable, but I thought it was still entertaining. But a lot of people don't like truth.
Mm-hmm. But you
So,
have to think about it. It's a situation where, in order for you to make a change, you have to see what's wrong. And it even may be a situation where people may not necessarily be comfortable, but they will be enlightened. And they will say, hey, you know what? I ain't really like hearing that, but that is true. And then it opens up dialogue, because if it's always just laughing and joking, once they leave, they had a good time and they was entertained. But if it's something that made them feel a little uncomfortable, then they're going to talk about it on the way home. What did you think about that? Hey, you know what? I never thought about that. So the uncomfortableness breeds the conversation that's needed.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's good.
I have this thing. I know you remember this from the book, the mirror mirror part. And so I want the audience. I would love. You remember how Pastor Chris we had the props and then he passed it out to the whole. I
Yeah.
would love if we could give everybody in the audience a mirror. Because this is not about looking at, oh, I wish so and so was here, or oh, so and so need to see this. That's good too. That helps us do another play. But I'm saying in the sense of the message of it. Look in your mirror. What's wrong with you? And that the whole time everybody's looking in their mirror. Let me grab my mirror before I say this or whatever. So I think it's important just to take the self-evaluation and stuff.
Yeah, I think it'd be for me when I think about it, honestly, I think it's a book and a play that need to be I think all churches should sit and watch it and listen to it because
that's what I wanted, like the Passion of Christ. That's what I wanted. I need to see it. Like I want everybody to see all my plays. I want people to see this because it's like having medicine for COVID. I don't have a cure, but I got something that could probably help you get to where you need to get the cure. To know that you got COVID. You know what I mean?
Or to prevent you from getting it.
But exactly. I don't act like this, but you may know somebody who does. You know, you may be able to steer somebody in the right direction. I just want
honestly, like you said with that mirror, if you know somebody who does, that means they're a reflection of you. So they still in your circle. So get that mirror back out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And with the thing about the pastor study, also people can read, especially young pastors growing up and just starting out, and they can see the signs and like, wait, that's the direction I'm going in, or I don't want to do that. So it's a tool that can be used to show people, look, if you see these signs, because we so quick to ignore signs, and we keep going. And a lot of this because if we acknowledge the signs, we're thinking, well, maybe that's going to affect my ministry or affect what people think. So, what if I do want to get help? Because I think it was Fred Price's son. I remember when he was in the ministry and he stepped down, he said, I need help myself. And everybody was just all on him, like, how could he do that? But how can I nurse you back to health if I'm sick myself? So if you acknowledge that.
And that's why a lot of the churches, not all churches, not all pastors, but that's why a lot of churches are infected. You're making an impact, but you're infecting people. You know?
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see it get out. I mean, it would be so nice if some of the larger churches was not so private or so into, look, I have a ride, and that they would allow things to come to the churches and allow projects like this because it's very beneficial and it's so informative. I mean, it really shows the life of pastors going through, and not only going through, but the end result of them, getting the help or whatever. So it shows that you can get help no matter who you are.
Absolutely. And that's my goal. I've been calling pastors, sending the information to pastors. Y'all come out, y'all. Like, this ain't just a play I'm trying to get y'all to come to. This will change the course of some people's lives in your church. It may even change you. But I don't tell them that.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be good. And I mean, and I guess we're in a society now too where when we were coming up, you had to work on your ministry and make sure that you proof of your ministry, that you work hard and you waited on your call. And now $19.99 and you can get a piece of paper to say you're a pastor. Or if you go through certain classes, they say, oh, well, you know what, now you're called. And I'm like, no, that's not the way it works. And what happens, you see a lot of people that they're very popular. So now they step into that role as a pastor. And when the real life hit them, they're not equipped.
They're not ready.
It's looking at them like, oh, well, I thought there was a pastor. And now they're going to judge everybody according to what that one who really was not called by God. So we need books like this. We need plays like this. And I think also, for me, I love reading. So when I read it, it was such a good book. I think this is one of those books I read like in one setting because I was like, Every time I hit a spur minute, I'm picking it up reading because it was just that good. But some people may not read, but when they go to the play and they see it in live action, then it's like, oh wow, that's something.
Oh my God. And that's my thing. I hunger and long for this. This is how I know this is where I'm supposed to be. Like doing movies, plays, the books, all of the above, they're all synonymous. Um, a different way to catch the fish, if you will. A different way. Because some people they'll never go to church. Especially now that they know that they don't have to go to church, they go to church online.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Some people just don't. And it's those that I seek to reach. It's like you still don't have to be hungry. You don't have to, and they think they're gonna be entertained. It's like, oh, I heard your book was good. Let me get it. Let me read it. But they don't know what's about to happen, you know. And then to go to a play or go watch a movie and be changed. Those things people don't forget. They just don't forget. They be like, oh my God, I remember this. They start saying lines from the play. Or, you know how we did Color Purple. I know all the Color Purples, you know, lines. Get my children out of here. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes a part of people. And it's not better than preaching the word. I mean, preaching is necessary. But I feel like it's another way to get those that the preacher won't touch. And that's why I'm in the marketplace. That's where I want to be.
Right. And also it'll also give people a chance to, because you may be going through something and not want to say nothing about it, but then you go to a play and you begin talking about it, and then you can speak about it because now there's a conversation and it doesn't seem so taboo.
Yeah.
Because they say that, oh, that does happen. And it's like, wow, I would have never thought like that. So I think it'll give a lot of people a chance to, because, you know, we watch certain things and it'll open up dialogue that maybe before we would have never had. But
when
now
you don't look at it from a certain perspective, it's like, whoa. Or what I did see, what I hope happens to some people, that they remember things that were done to them. It's like, wait, I remember this. They never told anybody, but now I want to talk to somebody. I want to talk to my mom. Or I want to talk to a therapist, or let me go to my pastor and see, how can I be healed from this? You know, leaders, wounded leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like bleeding leaders. It's bleeding all over everybody.
Like you bleed on everybody but the person that cut you.
Yeah.
And so, and that's good because, like you say, a lot of times when you go through traumatic situations, you can block it and push it so far down that you forget, and then you'll see something, then you're like, hey, now I remember. And then you may feel like, you know what, maybe I should get help, or maybe I should talk to somebody. You know, maybe that's why you'll see, maybe that's what triggered me. Now I see, because I'm seeing things happen. I'm like, what? That's why I act as well that way. So I think it opens up dialogue. And that's the whole thing about plays and productions, is that you want it to be something that triggers something in somebody who's watching, somebody that would take something from it. And like you said, it may change the trajectory of their life, because they're saying, wait a minute, I'm not useless, or, you know, maybe I can get help. And even something that, no matter how bad, that doesn't mean that it's over. You know, I can come back from it. And that's what I see the play doing. I'm telling you, I really see this. I could see this being a Fox Theater type play, because it's
I'm
not.
sorry, I dropped the phone because, and I'm not still not. No, this is just not deja vu. In a vision, somebody offered me that opportunity. They was like, "This must hit the Fox," and they were funding everything. When you said it, just like took me right back to that moment. I don't know what's going to happen. Excuse me. With this, I just know. I feel like you ever been set up, and then after everything comes, you're like, they set me up. I feel like I'm being set up for something great, though. I think I've been doing this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Almost 24 years. and to kind of still be kind of right here and not, you know what I'm saying, be able to touch the people in a larger way.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time coming, and those doors are opening. And Larissa, you know my testimony being shut down and talked about, laughed at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she thinks she Tyler here, that kind of thing. But to be redeemed and to be vindicated,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the point in my life that I'm coming to.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel it. When you said the fox, because it's like, people are like, oh Lord, anyway, there she go. Well, you know what I'm saying? People do say stuff like that. This is like, it saddens me sometimes. But when I said that, I said, well, I'm not going to tell too many people about that because it do sound like, oh, she thinks she whatever. But it wasn't me. The person came to me and they offered, I need this to hit Fox Theater. We'll take care of everything else. Y'all just come on.
Mm-hmm.
But when you said that, I was like, because this is, and I said to my friend today, lady was at my house today. I told her about the Fox, and I said, but this ain't even no Fox production. Ain't no singing, ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It's not a Foxy type thing to me. But if I open that door, I'm running through it. But for you to say that, that was just the confirmation. The one out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established type thing.
And let me say, when it comes to the Fox Theater, it's a platform that's set for whoever God sent there. So you may not have singing, but you still have information and you have edification and you have stuff that will help people to get victory and deliverance. So we have to remember God said the wealth of the wicked is set up for the righteous.
Period.
So people who own the Fox Theater and people who make the movers and shakers or whatever, God said that the hearts of kings is in his hand and he let them flow the way he wants. So you may not feel like what you have is what should be there. But God can take what you have and not only put it there, it can put it on Fox TV, can put it on NBC. So, we can't limit what God can do. And we can give God a little bit and he can make it so massive. And with your skill set, with your talent, with what you have, the Fox Theater really is small in comparison to what I know you have to offer.
Thank you.
So because and I tell people all the time when they say you want to be the next Tyler Perry, I said, absolutely not. I said, because then I limit what God can do.
Period.
He might want to make me bigger than Tyler Perry.
Yeah. And we trailblazed. He trailblazed for us. He took hits and knocks that people like us won't have to take. And I'm appreciative. He's our silent mentor, if you will. But to be him, to write like him, I'm different. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We all are different.
Right. And you don't have to and I tell people all the time, Tyler's good, but Tyler was for Tyler's spot. And it was for what God did for him. But also I look at that and say God is not a respecter of person. And if he'll do it for him, he'll do it for us. Not only that, now I don't know about Tyler, but I know about us. We're covered under the blood and the covenant that God promised us.
Yes.
So we already have everything we need to be what we want to be. We just have to be patient and walk in it. And you have paid your dues. And even with what you're doing now, you may not realize it or see it, but you have touched thousands that you don't even know about. Because any play I do, anybody I touch is an extension of what you touched when you touched me. They come to my play and go see another play and they speak on anything that I've done or spoke about. This is an extension of you. So, that's why God say one plant, another waters, and he give the increase. So the seed that you are planting, you would never be able to see the growth of all of that. But that doesn't mean that it's not there because you don't see it. So you are touching way more because you look at all the books you wrote. That's nothing but seed. Look at all the plays you've done in the productions. I mean, you never have to worry about that. But I do believe that the bigger picture of what God has for you is coming because stuff like the pastor study to speak about what pastors go through, that they're real, and also to show that they're not just people that's trying to hurt people. Sometimes they are hurt people. And that God can't call or use somebody that's hurt.
Yeah.
I have a question about that when we talk about hurt people, because they hurt people. Well, actually, to preface this question, shadow work. You talked about shadow work. I love that you talk about how this book and the play are framed into getting you to think and look at yourself and the awareness. And so that is the first step of shadow work, or really digging in what you blocked out is the awareness. So I appreciate you bringing these things to the awareness of the village and the community. So with that awareness, I had the blessing of being able to work in the church for a few years. I was like a financial secretary and did some behind the scenes stuff. So when we talk about the pastor study, I've seen some things. And I know that there are a lot of our kin, our family, that have left the church because of experiences, because of that church hurt. How I know you said God guided you through this. How do you think that, since this is an awareness for those leaders, for us to check ourselves, how do you think it will be for, I'll say, the congregation that see some of the mess behind the scenes?
I think it could go several ways. I think some could be like, see, I knew they wasn't, you know what I'm saying? You have those skeptical people, non-trusting people, those hurt people. But then you have people like me who's like, dang, if they would have just talked to somebody, you know what I mean? I'm not a pastor. And like I see certain things, just even in the body, like, who does Bishop J go to? Who does America's pastor go to? So it offers some sympathy in the midst of, I don't know what happened. I don't know the truth. I honestly could care less. Well, like when I see him or I hear people talking about it, it's like, Dad, give him a break though, because he already gonna go through. Pray for him. You know what I mean? I've not even had conversations about the man. I don't care that much. But when I look at it and I have my thoughts, it's like, but who he go to? Who he gonna tell? That's gonna keep it besides Serena. You know what I mean? And like he might not want to tell her. So it just gives me sympathy for pastors when they make mistakes, because we all do it. I make a mistake. Well, I don't want to come to church. I don't come to church, and I do how I want to do. As a pastor, you make a mistake or you don't want to come to church, it's a problem. It's problematic. Why he ain't at church? You know what I'm saying? Like, he did so and so. And I mean, I've been in conversations about, well, the pastor shouldn't be, and I was the pastor's daughter, you know what I'm saying? So we all have different ways people that are not pastors can and will look at it. That's just how people are.
Well, with the pastor study, what we learn and what we see also is that as a pastor, say for instance, something major happened that next day, or if it's Sunday, I still have to do what I have to do. I remember when my brother had passed away and I had to preach his service, I still had to get up that Saturday and minister and then go and do his service. And people who don't know, they just know, hey, he's a pastor. People who don't know I have a ministry don't realize that what happens in life doesn't stop the ministry.
That's true. Yeah.
You carry all that weight. And then you also, when you go and people say you're a pastor, people want to come and, unload on you, not knowing what you're going through yourself, what you're dealing with. So you got this heavy burden of life for you, but then you got to carry that extra burden of everybody else's life. Because, I did a sermon once called "Who Gonna Save Superman?"
Period.
Because when kryptonite hit him, who did he run to? Because everybody think, well, you're our hero, but who's mine? So pastors are in a position where they have to be so selective about who they can release or who they can talk to.
That's right.
Look at them like, well, you're a pastor, why you don't just pray about it?
What that guy you talk about all the time.
Right, and it's so true that people think like that. But I think that when the Bible mentioned the fact that in the beginning, when Adam was by himself, it said it wasn't good that he be alone, because he knew that he needed that human counterpart to speak with, someone who can, you can reach out, that you can touch, that can say, oh, you relate because you're human too. We can go to God and pray, but sometimes we need somebody we can just sit and actually look at and speak to and talk to, that can give us an instant, conversation about. So just so we can just release it and put it out there.
Yeah, I just had a thought about Jerry and Evelyn, the lead characters, and how they're there because they want to give people what they needed when they went through. And I remember a scene where somebody was like, "So do you think we're anointed?" And the person's like, "Yes, you are really anointed. You got the fire God." And so you think that whatever never happened to me. Oh no, I know you didn't, but you're wrong. This did happen to
Mm-hmm.
me. And it's the like the transparency that helps people, because some people look at people and be like, well, they ain't never went through this. I heard Michelle Obama, and she ain't no pastor, but she was the world's leader and the country's leader, and she said this, and I was flabbergasted. She said she went 10 years and was mad at Obama after she had the babies, because it was like he was out doing whatever, not doing whatever, but he had
Right.
the liberty, and she was home with the kids. Like, come on, bring your home. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm looking like, oh my God, you've been mad at Obama. To look at them today, I mean, Sasha and Malia grown, but to look at them, you would never think that era never happened. That time and space never happened. But we have seasons, even in our marriage. You know what I mean? Like, should I have marriage? Or maybe they may say, should I marry you? You have those thoughts. You have those seasons when it's cold. You know what I mean? I mean, you got the hot season too. You got the I need you. We all have different seasons, but we all have a season. Is my point.
Right.
And like you look at certain people and they look all put together, but maybe God put them back together again. You know what I mean? Maybe this is, how you have the reconstruction of a building, tore it down and built it back up. You know what I mean? So that's something to consider too. That there are some pastors who already gone through. Now they're out. Now I can help you, and that's Jerry and Evelyn all day long. We are not perfect. We're not here to judge you. We're here to help you, and we need those leaders like that. And they were pastors to these other pastors. Even though the people didn't join the church, they came to Station City Resorts to have a weekend of healing. And yeah, I thank God for that. I wish pastors had a place like that they can go and even just get away.
There's a place, and I haven't been yet, so I don't say a lot about it because I want to go and experience it myself. But there's this pastor, I can't remember his name right now, but he have an actual place, it's cabins, and he
I
rented.
heard of that.
And I think it's like 100. I think it's a minimum of 3 nights, but it's only like maybe $50 a night or something like that. There's no Wi-Fi or nothing. It's just a place where you can go and just get refreshed, and they have counseling available and stuff. And it's more or less a place where you can go and just regenerate yourself and refresh. Because what people have to understand also about pastors is they're constantly pouring out, but they're not always getting poured back into. So when they get drained, they can't say, hey, let me go get refreshed. They still got to get up Sunday morning. They still got to teach. They still got to do what they got to do. If somebody called them, because we see pastors on Sunday morning, we see them doing Bible study, and we see them, some Friday nights or whatever. And we think, okay, that's it. But we don't see the 3 o'clock calls they get. We don't see the times they got to run to the hospital, the times that people call about stuff. Hey, my marriage is going through. We fussing. Can you come over? Baby dedications that's so much.
Funerals.
Don't. And we wonder why sometimes when they get up, they be so tired when they're done, because they drain physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So they need that time of refreshing. And so many people, they want prayer from their pastor, but they never really think to pray for them, because they feel like, oh, well, God got them. But we still need to pray one for another.
Yep, they need it. That's what this is telling y'all. Y'all, we need to pray for them, cover them, because they go. If the enemy attacks us, he attacks their head.
So that's why I want people to make sure that they get their tickets. I got the information up there. You can go to the radiowriter.com.
You still got the book?
Huh?
Do you still have your book?
On this book right here?
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yes. I keep it's a good book. And for me, one thing about me too, if I get your book and read it and it's good, I'll speak about it. But if your book is not good, I will still support you, but I'm not going to promote you.
Mm.
So for me, I'm glad that I can support and promote you because it's good. And I mean, I've told people about this way before it became a play. Because as a matter of fact, I think like Diamond in the Rough, I think I brought like 3 or 4 of those and gave them
Yeah,
to people.
you gave them away because your wife had took a picture. I think your niece
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
so
was going to read it, but I don't know how she, felt afterward. That Diamond in the Rough,
yeah, they loved it. And that's what I'm saying. And see, and even that book, that's a powerful book because it may not be necessarily based on spiritualism, but it's a powerful message of redemption.
Yes.
It's a powerful message. So, and that's another thing I like about your stuff is that you write stuff that it may not be what the world consider a spiritual book or whatever, but it's a spiritual foundation that leads people to Christ, that lead people to.
Yeah.
Some people, I tell people all the time, some people have to get delivered in order for them to get transformed to what God wants them to be. So we have this thing that we make people feel like they got to get it right, but some people need deliverance, and they may not be in the church. They may not have somebody, a pastor that can pray over them, but they still need deliverance. And sometimes they can see a book or a play or something and be like, oh, okay, you know what? Let me try that. So it gives them the boldness to go forth to see that, hey, you know what? I can be okay. So I definitely want people to come out to see this play. It's June the 8th at the County Performing Arts Center. It's going to be incredible because it's impossible to have a book this good and the play not be, multiplied.
Right. To see the characters come to life is crazy to me.
Yeah, so
like, hey,
Jerry. Yeah, so I want people to go and and also I want to make this abundantly clear to the village is that the path to study is for saved and unsaved alike. You don't. It's not about what religion you are. It's not about. It's just about you being a person that want good content. So you go and your life can be changed. So don't think when you see, well, maybe this is a religious thing. No, it's not about that. This is not church. This is open to everybody and anybody. And you will be. I think you'll be blessed. Just being able to see this and enjoy this.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, I'm excited for you because I mean, like I said, I've seen what you've been through, and I say this to you, and I say it all the time. There's a lot of people that would not sign a contract with you that can call you up. Now they have to make an appointment with you.
Come on.
They can sign a contract, but they can ask for your autograph.
Ooh, that's good.
So don't worry because even I was saying it earlier when I was thinking, when Samuel was talking to Jesse was pointing to everybody but who God wanted.
They didn't want to bring David to the party.
Look, so we all are sometimes, in that position where everybody thinking we've been looked over and rejected, but God said, no, I'm just saving you for the spot that I have for you. Because your spot that God has created and carved out for you, nobody can fit it but Annetta. Nobody can take it from Annetta. So your gifts, and he said your gifts will make room for you and bring you before great men. Yes. So for those people from the Fox or from NBC or from Netflix or whatever, Hulu, when they began calling this because God said it's already predestined. And I believe it'll happen because you have, because I've seen movies on TV and I'm like, oh my God, we could write that in our sleep. They, sometimes they just know people and I look at all the money they funded and I'm like, okay, it's a project and it's on TV, but I'm still doing like this and looking and twisting my hand. You got everything, but you see the people walking in front. But so you have what it takes. I know that you are blessed and highly anointed. And like I said, I don't promote something that I don't believe in. I've had people say, "Can I come on your show?" And I have to politely decline because that's not something that I can push.
Right.
I can't. I don't care if you got 3 million followers. I still don't want to because I believe what God has for me to do, and I can't contaminated with someone just so I can get more followers or more likes or whatever. I'm not doing that. So I just
Well,
want
I'm honored. Thank you.
to bring you on because I know what you bring to the table, and I know who bring you to the table. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the play. I'm excited about the Fox Theater. I can't wait because I know you know.
Well,
So
prophesy.
look,
Yes, we want to say thank you for allowing your gift to be used so continually. You haven't put down the torch. You continue to carry the cross and bear that cross and do the work for 25 years. She said 26 years,
No,
25
24.
books, 24 years, 25 books, you guys. That's putting out work.
yeah.
And that's just the written work. That's not the presence, the mentoring, the advocating, being a voice. So just taking a moment, Village, and we say thank you. Thank
Mm.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all for having me and for helping me get the word out. I just want the word out. I ain't done so many podcasts in my life.
Planting
I said,
those.
"Oh my God, okay, let's do another day. Let's do another day." And next week I have nothing but getting ready for the play. So, but I've done like no at least 7 podcasts. But I want to get the word out. I think people need this.
Mm-hmm. And you all you're doing is just you're sowing seed. Speaking of what you've done and what you've been through, you don't know how many people you encourage to say, okay, I only been going through for a couple of months, so maybe I can wait. So if you have so much power in your testimony and you're just telling your story, you don't even realize you're encouraging people
Mm-hmm.
because you carry it well. So just continue to do that, continue to be faithful. And I know that the blessing is going to come. Just know that. I remember when I was teaching about, Jacob and Esau was trying to, get blessed and went to,
Mm-hmm.
and Jacob didn't realize all this scheming and stuff you're doing, and it's already yours. God has already promised it for you. But you see somebody else getting it, you think, oh, well, let me hurry up and do this. And God is saying the promise is already there. So we don't have to lie, scheme. All we have to do is just be obedient, just like David. David was serving. He had no clue when they called him. He think, look, I need to tend my sheep. I ain't got time for that. And then even after he was appointed, and look how long it was before he was actually sit as king. So you can be walking to your destination and not even realize that you're walking into royalty, but God wants you to walk through the kingdom. So when you're running the kingdom, you understand how the kingdom is.
Okay.
Jesus. Come on.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna be okay, and I'm just proud of you, and I appreciate what you've done, what you're putting out, and I thank you for taking time to come to It Takes a Village podcast so we can speak on the greatness that you have and everything. And again, like I said, for people, I want them not only go see the play, but get the book as well, because the book is very, very, very excellent. And I'm gonna actually get that information for that place where pastors can go because I think it's something that's good. And I think within the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna try to reach out and because when you reach out, it's very simple process. You fill out an application to say, hey, these are the days I want. If they're available, you go and everything. And because pastors they need to be healed as well. They
That
need
would be awesome.
definitely. So, but I thank you again. And how if people that want to get not only in touch with you, for the play, but for maybe speaking engagements or in regards to your Bully Me Not Foundation, how can they get in touch with you?
My website, thereadywriter.com, thereadywriter.com. I'm on IG under the dots ready writer, and on Facebook I'm Annetta Swift. So they can find me and you put my name in, you find me. I think my phone number everywhere. So
Okay, and also, Annetta Swift is Googleable. You can Google Annetta, so that's a blessing. Stuff. I mean, that's why I say you've done a lot, and I don't think you realize just how much you have contributed to your people, your village, and your cause. So we're ecstatic to have that information. We're ecstatic to be able to
thank
express
you.
that.
How can
So,
I get this? I just want my mom gonna want to see it. So can you
I'll,
put this link? Put this link in my inbox. So
I'll
I can
send you.
send.
I'll send you a link to the show when we're done.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ariana.
Thank you for coming. Always great to see you. Love you.
Love you. Love y'all. Thank y'all.
Yeah, you're always welcome. You're always gonna be part of the village, and we're gonna keep bringing you back. I know you got many more projects coming up.
Yeah,
So
got the movie. Got the movie. I'm shooting. Finally shooting my first movie, so I'm be excited about that.
yes, yes. That's why I say you've got a lot, and we're excited, and we're going to just keep rooting you on, and we're gonna keep pushing you and promoting you and doing all we can on this end to see that you get what God has coming to you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.
All right, you too now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, everybody. That was very inspirational. I just hope people go out and support the play because this definitely, I know it's going to be a good play. Like I said, the book was really excellent. And next time you come over on, I'll have to give it to you so you can read it because it is such a book. It's really good. I mean, really good. So, but this has been a good thing just to be able to sit and talk about the play, the pastor study again. It's going to be June 8th at the Clayton County Performing Arts Center. The doors open at 5. The show begins at 6. You can get your tickets at www.thereadywriter.com. And also you can get books and stuff from there. She's at our website with a plethora of information and such. So support our own so that we can continue to grow and reach people that we may not be able to reach on just a regular basis, whatever, but we need to change the narrative of social media and start doing good stuff with it. And that's what we do here at the Village. We like to just bring people and change people one person at a time and do what we can to present to them and to the world all that they have to offer for the Village. You have any closing words, Ariana?
Just this is a great opportunity. We started with the media. We were reminded about, being transparent to healing. And so just as we put those things together about healing and media, it's a great opportunity to change up some of what you've been meditating on and soaking into your mindset on the social medias, the TVs, the movies, and find and dig into some of these books and these messages in this play coming up, where you can really begin to just think through some of the experiences, lessons, and opportunity that's present in front of us to really change and elevate ourselves. So I'm excited about the Village, and I'm excited to see how we grow between now and the next time we see each other again.
All right, everybody. Again, this is Pastor Lorenzo Evans with It Takes a Village podcast, and my wonderful co-host, Ariana Turner, the communication queen. So I hope everybody enjoy themselves and just enjoy the rest of this day and just continue to go and listen to this again and share it with people that want to, give information about pastors and what they go through and everything. And watch the play with an open mind, and you'll really be amazed at what you learn once you go to the show and see everything. So I know we're going to be there, and I'm excited about it. So we do thank everybody that's listening now and later, and hope that everyone enjoy themselves, have a good time. I see Eric Allen was on here, another friend of mine, and another playwright, Darlene Carson, which is my cousin, and she has a play coming out. So we're going to get with her before that and bring her on and speak about that as well. So it's been a good day, a good time. We hope everybody enjoy themselves. We look forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks with It Takes a Village podcast. Until then, y'all have a good day now.